Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel Pennies to Dollars. I'm Bonita, and I'm so glad that you joined me today. So, today I'm doing a collab with some other creators, which I will talk about in a little bit. But the topic today is my favorite things for a smoothly running home. Now, if you've ever tuned in before, you know that I am old fashioned living. I live in rural Kansas, and I love to use and reuse things, and I love to live as simply as possible. This brings me a lot of joy. It saves me a lot of money, and it saves me a lot of time and energy as well. So, today I want to share with you some of those things that help my home run smoothly. Hi, everyone. I'm Bonita from rural Kansas, and I am early retired. I retired early at almost 58 years old in October of 2023. I am now 60 years old. I am riding it out until Social Security kicks in, and I love frugal living. I share tips and tricks on this channel, and it has afforded me the opportunity and choices to have the freedom that I wanted at an earlier age. I hope you enjoy this video. I like to prioritize reducing consumption and waste rather than going out and buying things that are even eco-friendly. I feel like this is a way that I can be eco-friendly in my own home without spending extra money to do it and have everything I need at my fingertips. Anything that keeps me from leaving my home to buy or get the things that I need saves me time, energy, and cash. Usually we will go to the store, buy what we need, put it in our car, unload it at home, use the item, dispose of whatever we didn't need off of the item, whether it's a container or a box, and then have to dispose of that trash. I like to reduce that cycle that saves me so much time, energy, and cash. And I'm going to share some of those ways with you today that make the biggest difference in my home. The first one is sustainable swaps. These are things that we have already purchased or we have on hand that maybe we use for a special occasion, or maybe we don't use them at all and we just throw them away to recycle them. Some of those things are like cloth napkins. Many of us have those for the holidays, but yet we never pull them out during the year. I now have a basket on my table that I keep of reusable napkins, and that saves me a step of buying paper ones, using them, throwing them away, and having to take out the trash. These I can just toss in the wash, and I am done with that cycle after I folded them and put them back in the basket. Another one is cutting up old tea towels, old towels, making them into my own cloth rags to clean with. And I also like to reuse milk jugs. They make great planters. They make a great compost bin by my sink. And I also refill water jugs rather than buying the individual waters. And I always keep my refillable water cup with me at all times, even if I go out. And that keeps me from buying extra drinks or needing to purchase something that I'm going to have to discard later. I reuse bread bags, bread twisties, bread clips, rubber bands off of produce, tortilla bags because they have that zipper lock at the top and they work great for freezing things. I reuse jars, coffee canisters, and I also limit how much foil and plastic wrap I use. A lot of times I will just flip like a cookie sheet over the top of my cake pan rather than pulling out foil to cover a cake pan. And I use envelopes from junk mail to make labels for those coffee canisters and those jars when I reuse them. There are so many ways that we can reduce the things that we need to purchase that keeps our home running smoothly. The next thing is I keep an inventory of all of my freezer items on a makeshift blackboard with a frame that I made myself from an old dresser mirror frame and some chalkboard paint. This is hung right above where my freezer is at, and it helps me know what is in my chest freezer at any given time. I mark on there when I bring things in from the grocery store, and I mark them off when we take them out of the freezer. I also like to keep inventories of things in my pantry that's not quickly visible on a little piece of paper so that I know what I have and I don't overbuy things that I already have in stock, and I can tell when I'm getting low on something and it needs to go on my shopping list. And along that lines, the third one is to keep a well-stocked pantry and freezer. If we have the things that we need that we normally cook with, we can make just about anything that we decide to make in our homes without going out and paying full price. It saves me time, it saves me money, and I have everything right there and I know what I have, so I can make anything I decide to prepare. Filling that pantry and freezer with affordable items is one of the best ways to keep your home running smoothly. The fourth way is to ensure that you have money management peace in your home by having a comprehensive budget broke down into categories. That way, you know how much you can afford to spend on food, utilities, clothing, all of the essentials in your home. And you can track that and make sure that you don't go over. At first, this sounds like it is extra steps, but it's really less steps. If you keep in budget and track what you spend so that you know at any given time what you can afford to spend, you don't have all of the endless hours later in the month trying to figure out how to make ends meet or where you went wrong. This is one of the best ways to run your home smoothly, is to stay on top of your money situation. One of the ways that my home runs smoothly is by lessening my reliance on certain things like utilities. I hang clothes to dry indoor and outdoor depending on the weather. I have an indoor drying rack. I also have a drying rack that's in my RV that I take with me, and I have 3 sections of clothesline outside. I don't rely on a dryer. I don't rely on electricity to take care of drying my clothes. I really enjoy it. I find it relaxing and it cuts my electric bill, which also gives me some of that money management piece. I don't even have the breaker turned on to my dryer because that's how seldom I use it. But having some of these backup things for when your power goes out or when money is tight, sometimes those things can be the biggest thing for smoothing out the wrinkles in your daily life. The sixth area that makes my home run smoothly is having a garden all year round. Now, I can't have as much in the winter time as I do in the summer, but I do move things indoors, and I have celery, green peppers, onions, basil, all kinds of things growing in my home during the winter time. And then I have a larger area outside growing in the summertime. Being able to just step into the next room or step outside to pick what I need to continue that meal, it can't get any easier than that. The next area that keeps my home running smoothly is having some prepared shelf mixes that I store so that I can quickly make a meal when I decide that I need them. Rather than going to the store and buying these items, most of these items already have all the ingredients right in your kitchen. The spices, the flour, the cornmeal, all of those things that go into making a lot of these shelf mixes are already in our homes, but we will go out and buy the prepared mixes. So if I just mix these up ahead of time and label them with the wet ingredients that still need to go into the shelf mix, then I can throw together quickly muffin mix, cornbread mix. I can grab my homemade spices like onion soup mix, and I can make the items that I need with the spices and the ingredients that are already in my kitchen. This saves me a lot of time, a lot of money, and I know what goes in every single mix and spice that I have on hand. Another thing that keeps my home running smoothly is by having a spray bottle that is half water and half vinegar. That is my go-to cleaner anymore. I don't purchase any extra cleaners. In fact, there's hardly anything in my cleaning cabinet anymore. That is my first grab. It is inexpensive. It is easy to mix back up if I'm running low, and I can use it on basically anything. I also make my own eyeglass cleaner, which is something that is so simple to make. Half rubbing alcohol, half water, and a drop of dish soap. And that cleans my glasses, and I keep that in a drawer. Having these homemade items with stuff we already have on hand definitely makes my home run smoother. The next thing that makes my whole life run smoother is having some savings, an emergency fund, a budget buffer, whatever you want to call extra money that you stick back so that you have it when something comes up. Say you have a tire go bad. This can set you back on future earnings if you don't have money saved back for little things that come up like this. So, this is essential to having your home and your life run smoothly. So I'm going to take a little break here and let you know that this is a collab that was organized by Get Organized HQ Virtual. This is an online conference with all kinds of creators, and this is their 10th year to do this. And as a small creator with only around 10,000 subscribers, I was so honored that they asked me to be part of this conference. So this video is a collab with them. I also have another video that is going to be aired by them on September 17th at 9 a.m. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below where you can get a free virtual ticket to join this conference. Each attendee will get a 24-hour access pass to the sessions that are being recorded for 24 hours after that session comes up. But you can also buy an all access pass. As of August 24th, they were $29, but the price does go up if you wait to get that all access pass. This would give you a lifetime access to all of these videos that are going to go up. And last year they had 389 speakers. So this is really exciting. The topics are anywhere from decluttering to retiring early to saving money to frugal living, all of the things that this channel is interested in. Now let's get back to the top items that I feel are essential for a smoothly running home. And the next one is a good calendar. Now I just get a free calendar from our bank or from our pharmacy. They still give these out in December. I write down when all of my bills are due. I check off when I've paid them. I write down all of the kids' and grandkids' birthdays, anniversaries, and I keep track of any doctor's appointments or engagements that we have. I use it as a planner, but I don't pay anything for a planner. I just use that calendar, and it is essential for me to know what I'm supposed to be doing every single day or where I am supposed to be. So having a good calendar that is available to you is essential to keeping everything running smoothly. The next thing that I love is having leftovers. I'm one of those people, I will cook extra just so I have leftovers. I have a husband that eats leftovers really well and packs them for his lunch. I have things in the freezer that I have put back, maybe if we got tired of eating the leftovers, but I can pull them out later and we can have another meal. But I purposefully cook extra so that I will have leftovers, because that just makes my life easier if I can skip cooking several nights a week. My next thing that I love is keeping some of my favorite recipes that I use frequently taped inside of my kitchen cabinet doors. That keeps me from having to dig and search for those every time I need them. I can just open the door and they're right there. And then along that lines, my next favorite thing is having some true trusted cookbooks that I've used over the years. A lot of cookbooks have some very standard basic ingredients that you can throw anything together in your well-stocked kitchen. But if you pull up ones that are on the internet, a lot of times they're calling for new spices, new ingredients, new herbs, or things that you do not have on hand. But if you pull out some of those trusted, true cookbooks, then you will find you probably already have everything you need to make most anything in that cookbook. And the last area that I'm going to talk about to have a smoothly running home is to keep things as organized as possible. And I'm not talking about going out and buying baskets or things that are labeled. I'm not talking about buying anything. I'm talking about taking things that are the same and putting them together. There was a time in my life where it was almost a joke around here that we could not find a pair of scissors when we needed one. And when I started organizing this house, I found out I owned about 15 different sizes and types of scissors. Now they're all kept in the exact same place, and I can choose whichever type or size I need when I need a pair of scissors. There were times I actually purchased more scissors, obviously, because I couldn't find the ones I had. So just putting like things together can make your home run so much more smoothly. Now, this collab of all of these videos for a smoothly running home, they are going to be posted through the HQ Get Organized conference that I talked about. And I will leave that link in the description box below where you can get a free ticket. And these videos start September 14th. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please consider subscribing if you haven't. And I hope I will see you in the next video.